Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. My name is MisterET, and in today's vlog we finish the intake manifold side of the new engine, as well as we remove and install the transmission onto the block that is going back into the car. So stay tuned. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and if you want to look at the other episodes of this series, this is actually part 5, I believe, of this series. So look at the playlist and there's 4 other episodes before this one. Status updates on parts. So this is the old housing here that I was talking about, and you can clearly see on the side here, on the front, on the back here, that this housing cracked as well as the block did. So I just picked up this used one this morning from a Mazda CX-7 at Pick and Pull. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of surface corrosion, but that will not hinder this thing from working. So we're going to reinstall this one here. And if we look, still have our oil and everything. We were missing our intake manifold gasket, so we have this. We were missing our EGR gaskets, so we have this. We're missing a link kit, so have that as well. And we now have our 80W90 transmission gear oil. So we have pretty much everything we need to continue assembling the blocks. So let's switch over to the intake side, install the intake manifold, and then after that start removing the transmission. So let's have a look at this thing. So finished transferring over the AC compressor. The 2 bolts at the bottom here had broken, so I was able to reuse one that I had in a bag of bolts, and I got one at the junkyard as well as this piece over here. Reinstalled this and this. I'm only missing the oil filter at the bottom over here. This here is fully reinstalled at the top. As you can see, the intake manifold is on there. All the bolts are back in. I did not have to remove the throttle body, though there is a bit of work to be done because there is basically a hose that you have to disconnect at the back here, and then over here you have to get around this here to get the intake manifold on. So it is easier if the throttle body is removed, but I didn't want to pay an extra $20 or some for another gasket here. So reinstalled the EGR pipe. So there was a delete on there with just a little plate, so reinstalled this, and this is all the way threaded in at the bottom. The hoses here, I actually transferred over this hose. I had a different one that was on the previous motor, but let's say we have a look at it here. It was actually cut over here, and it was actually cut on the end here. So as you can see, the one that's on the car right now is quite a bit longer. So that transferred over as well. So this is all reinstalled over here. So new gasket there, new gasket over here, and I believe that is it. So the only thing we're missing now on this engine is the transmission. So this is the next step for us. So as you can see, the transmission is out, and this is a manual transmission, so we've got a clutch, a pressure plate, and a flywheel over here. So let's inspect everything externally. It all looks pretty good. As we had seen before, there's quite a bit of crap here on the front of the block, but that does not seem to have impacted anything on the flywheel. All the teeth look nice. The clutch and pressure plate seem to look nice. Once we remove it from the whole assembly here, we'll have a look a little bit more. And if we look inside the transmission, as you can see, there's going to be a bit of cleanup here from the engine debris and over here. But overall, the case looks good. Nothing looks damaged, and nothing was really leaking on this thing here, so we're going to be able to reinstall it. The seals at the back look good on both sides, and nothing was cracked or broken anywhere here. So I think we'll be able to take this engine, remove the clutch, the pressure plate, the flywheel, and then once that is done, drop this thing on the ground. Then we'll pick up this guy over here. We'll put this guy on the ground. We'll slide the transmission back on it once we've transferred again pressure plate, clutch, and flywheel, and then we will have a complete assembly to throw back into the car. So the clutch and flywheel are now off. Guys, look at this thing. Look at how much carnage there is. There's pieces of block everywhere. There's holes in the back here. There's another one there. There's another one there. I mean, the first cylinder, not the second one, the first cylinder blew up really, really nicely. Now, if we have a look at the clutch itself, it's still got quite a bit of material on there, so that's good. There's a couple of hot spots on the pressure plate. Nothing really major there. And if we look on this side, a couple hot spots again, but again, really nothing major. And if we look at the other side of this, and we go to the flywheel side, let me just turn this around here. Absolutely no damage. So all of these pieces blew up and the engine probably stopped right away. There's nothing really on here, no scuffs or anything like that. So all of these pieces will be reusable with the new engine. As you can see, I've swapped over engines. So the engine that is going back in is just on the ground here. Transmission is just over here, and then this broken piece of crap here is on the engine stand. And in a follow-up episode, I will be completely disassembling it so we can look at the carnage together. So guys, this will be it for this episode. We have removed the transmission, we have transferred over the engine. All that is left to do is reinstall the pressure plate, clutch, flywheel, button up the transmission, and we will be ready to drop this engine back into the engine bay. So stay tuned for our follow-up episodes about this.